Effective Saturday, August 17th, home buyers will need to sign a representation agreement to tour homes with a real estate agent. Hampton Roads Real Estate News caught up with local realtor and industry expert Drew Little to learn more. What do buyers need to know about the new changes going into effect Saturday?
Basically, what's changed is that we're now using a representation agreement anytime we show a buyer a house.
Why was this done?
It's a consumer protection. What this does is it gives a buyer a contract that says in writing what their agent will do for them, how long they will work for them, and what it will cost. That way the buyer knows up front exactly what they're getting into and that the agent is their advocate throughout, that their interests come first because it's defined in the agreement.
Will buyers have to enter into a long-term agreement?
Absolutely not. While a standard representation agreement is often about 6 months, you don't need to sign one that long to begin. Pretty much everything in real estate is negotiable. You can do a much shorter representation agreement. You could do one as short as a single day or even a single property to give you a chance to get to know the agent and make sure you want to commit to them for the longer term.
What will buyers have to pay under the new rules?
As has always been the case, your agent's fees and commissions are negotiable. So you'll determine that with the agent when you agree to work with them. You can set limits on how much you're willing to pay. You can pay a flat fee. You can even pay by the showing. The caveat there with a flat fee or by the showing is that it doesn't require that a deal actually close. So you could pay a flat fee and still not get a house. In a commission situation, the agent only gets paid when you get your house. And the rate of that commission is something you negotiate with your agent at the outset.
What are touring agreements?
A touring agreement is an agreement that some companies, internet companies mostly, have come up with to allow people to tour a house with an agent without any sort of commitment between the agent and the buyer. So there's no commitment of protection really, and there's no commitment of payment. So it's not a very good deal for either party, especially when we have so much better options like doing a representation agreement for extremely short term. You can do that instead of doing a touring agreement and then know that you have your advocate and your advocate knows they're going to be paid if they do a good job.
Will buyers have to sign an agreement when they visit an open house?
Absolutely not. When an agent holds a house open, they're working on behalf of the seller, not the buyer, so there's no representative relationship between the buyer and the agent holding the open house. Therefore, you're free to tour that home.
Is it true that buyers' agents won't be paid anymore?
No, like anyone else, buyers agents are people that are working. They get paid for their work. And in fact, real estate agents are generally their own business. They're business people. So they have to be paid by their clients in order to get paid at all. They're usually not paid by brokerages. So they will continue to charge a fair price for their services.
Will buyers have to pay their agents out of pocket?
Not typically. If a buyer does a pay per showing or a retainer agreement, then that will most likely be paid up front. However, if they do a more traditional commission agreement, that's almost always paid at closing. And it's done through a process called seller concessions, which is the same process we've had for a long time. Now, if the buyer is concerned about being able to cover the amount, they can instruct their agent only to look at properties where a seller concession is offered.
Thank you for talking to us today.
Thanks for talking to me. I'm really excited to be able to help people understand what's going on.